Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please be seated for the moment of silence.
On today's episode of Coyote Nation TV, find out about the new assistant band director, our Coyote achievements, and your daily announcements. I'm Skylar Hunter.
And I'm Miranda Serby.
Coyote Nation TV Live starts now.
Good morning, Coyotes, and welcome back. Skylar, you're looking great for Throwback Thursday. It's very 70s. I love it.
Thank you, thank you. Well, if you can't tell, today is Decades Day for Red Ribbon Week. Tomorrow we will be putting a lid on drugs by wearing hats and defending the den by wearing maroon.
I think we can both agree it's been a great Red Ribbon Week thus far. And tomorrow we will end it with a bang, with a pep rally and varsity football game.
We hope to see all of that school spirit tomorrow at the night football game against Wakeland at Memorial Stadium starting at 7 p.m. Also, it will be senior night.
That sounds like some fun. Is it just me, though, or am I the only one that looks forward to watching the High Steppers and band at halftime?
I love watching the halftime show, and also there's a new assistant band director this year.
Oh yeah, I heard some of my friends in band talking about him. They say they really love him and he's doing great at Heritage.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know him, CNTV's Brianna Flores has more on the new assistant band director, Mr. Wallace.
From trumpets to percussion, there are many people in band here at Heritage. Among that crowd, there is a new face that is also practicing with band and helping out with Mr. Pasivka, the band director.
Our new assistant band director is Mr. Wallace, and he's joining us this year to fill the vacancy that was left when Mr. Kitchens, our former assistant director, retired last January.
With Mr. Wallace being new, many say that he is adapting to Heritage very well.
Connected really well with the students since we started in July. He's fit into the culture that we have here.
He's really adjusting well to the new teaching position in place for Mr. Kitchens, and I think he's adjusting really well.
Some even say that he is also exceptional in the way he teaches.
One of the things that I like about what he teaches is that he helps us, he makes us play individually so that when we're performing, that we don't feel as scared to perform.
Because we do have two band directors, if we need to pass on music or need help, he'll pull us out of class, talk to us, and he'll try and help us work out whatever problems we have.
He's very excelling at what he does. He makes the band environment so much more enjoyable to be in. And I just feel like he's going to really learn the band traditions that we have.
Band members also see that he is going beyond to help them even more.
I'd have to say how creative he is, because for the most part right now, he's the one coming up with a lot of our body movement.
Not only does Mr. Wallace helps out the students, but he generally enjoys teaching them here at Heritage.
I love teaching music, and I love building relationship with my students.
I'm Brianna Flores for Coyote Nation TV.
Oh, Mr. Wallace, what an icon he is for Heritage.
Oh, Skylar and his iconic phrases. But I think it's about time to get into today's announcements.
First, we'd like to congratulate the varsity boys golf team on their 5th place finish with a team total of 339 in the Salina Invitational last Tuesday.
They were led by senior Creek Grosso with a stellar 77, which placed him in a tie for 4th place, followed closely behind by senior Alec Garcia's 84. Josiah Bellew, also a senior, shot his personal best of 87, and sophomore Matthew Artrip finished the scoring with a strong 91.
You know, the team's total score of 339 is the best score they've gotten in 4 years.
Wow, that's great. And honestly, I suck at golf, and I know that that's an amazing score, so props to them.
Yeah.
But you know who also did amazing? Everyone who donated blood last week.
Yeah, Heritage did very good in the blood drive. We got 136 pints, which is equal to 408 lives. And Heritage is the only school that exceeded their goal for donations.
Wow.
Yeah.
We thank everyone who participated. But on another note, tonight our JV, 9A, and 9B football teams will be playing against Wakeland High School, with JV playing at 5:30 p.m. at Wakeland, 9B playing at 5:30 here, and 9A playing Wakeland here at 7 p.m.
Tomorrow, varsity girls golf will be against Frisco High School at the Bridges Golf Course in Gunter starting at 8 a.m.
Don't forget, anyone who received a packet for an academic letterman, fittings will be tomorrow during all lunches.
Well, that's all the announcements we have for you today, Coyotes. But before we leave, we have one more thing.
Class kind of models absolutely everything a leader should be, of the character, the leadership, the accountability, the scholarship, and the service to others. Mr. Mimms shows that by modeling it himself every day. You see him in the halls, and you see him in his office, and going to meetings, and in the auditorium, and he's respectful towards others. He does what he's supposed to, and he has that character and that presence that a leader should have.
I've always believed in servant leadership. I try to do things through example that I would like other people to emulate. I think that's the best way to be a leader.
Within my everyday life, with the leadership from Mr. Mimms is pretty much sets the tone for what I'm doing. So my day in and day out kind of activities model after that, and making sure that what I'm doing is going to benefit the students and the campus as a whole.
He's a visionary. He is always thinking about the big picture items that create culture and create awareness and create value to the members of the team.
Mr. Mimms, like a lot of administrators, got a lot of those skills by working with other good leaders as an assistant, both as an assistant principal, as a teacher and a coach.
And I think a lot of that plays into his visionary aspect. There are times I'll go in his office and I'll tell him, I need Coach Mimms right now. I don't need Principal Mimms, so that way he can build me up to whatever challenge that I was up against at that time.
I think probably the greatest attribute a leader can have is humility and the ability to listen to others so that you can know where you can be of service to them.
This school is essentially his baby, and he wants everybody to believe in it and love it as much as he does.
And you can tell that it's what he wants to do, because there's a lot of people that are in education just because that's their job. But you can tell that this is really like his passion.
And if you look at the teachers, he truly believes and wants to have teachers that feel for the students and have a compassion for the students, because the students are what make the school.
I think he has the ability to shape students and motivate them to be a better version of themselves.
His style of leadership is basically exactly like a father. He knows when it's time to have fun and when it's time to get down to business, and students can recognize that just exactly with grit. You know, that came up a few years ago where there was a presentation on it, and he really tried to enforce and show us students what grit is, and it kind of became a running joke for a while, but you can ask any student in Heritage, they take grit seriously no matter how much of a joke it is, and it's something that we take pride in, that we can show off.
That's when I talk about grit, passion and perseverance for long-term goals. I want that for the staff, and I want it for the students, and I certainly want it for myself.
As a leader, I think you really have to put yourself in a position of those being led, and I think Mr. Mimms really does a good job at that.
Thank you so much for making Heritage what it is.
Huge congratulations to Mr. Mimms for winning the Jostens Renaissance recognition. I'm so proud of him, and for Heritage too.
He has done so much for us, and I think he really, really deserved this.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know, the recognition shows support for the person at your school who is a primary example of how one person can improve the climate and culture of the school.
Yeah, and I definitely think he's done that at Heritage. I was actually there when he accepted the award, and it was just a really cool experience to see that.
I wish I was there. But to finish up, don't forget to go to packpage.org to check out more stories and follow us on Twitter at Coyote Nation TV.
If there's a song that you still want to hear in the hallways, all you have to do is tweet us at Coyote Nation TV and use the hashtag CNTV Music.
Well, I'm Miranda Servey.
And I'm Skylar Hunter.
And you stay classy, Coyotes.